Genie grind, I wish I'm getting rich, huh? Remember when I said I hit a lick, huh? I don't really wanna fuck the bitch, what? Willie went and made another hit, okay, like Prada on my motherfucking kid, huh? Louis on my motherfucking hip, huh? Curry how I dunk, no switch, hey, fucking gonna fuck that bitch, hey, if you ain't gon' fuck with me, you a dumb fuck, put up a hit but feel like one punch, look at my bank and I'm getting dumb rich, and I'm gonna count it up till 100.
Hello world, I am What If Studia, and today we are coming back to one of my favorite what ifs. What if Naofumi was summoned by the elves? We're going to begin in a little bit different of a situation. During part 6, this one specifically, we are entering the human kingdom. Sort of what I would call the kingdom arc. We begin with an ancient wizard inside of his library, deep within it. He's checking each book, scanning it with his eyes and glasses glimmering. Finally, have I found it? His old wrinkles molding over the book, as his fingers were barely even seen. I have found rejuvenation. They told me. They scarred me off. They threw me away. But I'll get back at them. I'll show them all. As he holds up this book at the top of his hat, knocking his wizard hat down to the ground, falling down onto his cat, Hades. I'm sorry, Hades. Can you toss it back to me? I'm too old to turn over and get it. Him barely even standing above 3 feet tall. Clearly a part of a different race. The cat grows a few inches as its arm begins to look human-like as it throws it back up to him and landing it politely down onto his head. He wobbles a little bit, but then catches it onto his head, saying, "Thank you." Hades, we finally found it! As Hades meows in excitement. He rushes over to his little park bench, which he had made himself, deep within inside this ancient tomb. He reads out the similar words, allowing him finally to gain what he had searched for so long. After everyone had told him it wasn't real, he had found it. We continue back with our heroes. Naofumi overwatching and overlooking the whole city of the humans. So that's our target. And my revenge. You're not just here for your revenge. You remember that, right? Right. For the other people. I know. That should be our first thing. First question is, how do we get in now? I had made plans for this. Did you know? Yes, I did. I sent in a formal request saying that you, the Royal Viscount of Syndria, wherever the hell that is, have captured a high-level elf. Beautiful as all hell. Of course, all the slavers in the world would want to come and buy me. You'll be pretending to be the Viscount. Here to buy a new arm. But I don't want a new arm. I like not having anything here. The hell that they could do. Give me a wooden one. It's best to just not even get a new one. I know you do not want one. What I'm asking you to do is pretend to want a new one. Fine. I accept. Where should we go then? As they head to an outskirt, outfitting place. He is given a royal set of garb. One much different than his old one. However, the same color, a black and red mix. She asks him to put on the shield, pretending to be one of the, just using the shield as defense, just in case they act up. He says, of course, right. While they're in the dressing room, of course they use the time properly, as couples many would. After such, they start heading down to it. She actually just basically rips up all of her clothes. Naofumi says that it's kind of weird for you to do it right before. You should have done it an hour ago. She says, well, then people would get suspicious, wouldn't they? As they walk up to the mansion on the outskirts of the human kingdom, it's the only entryway point for smuggling people in. He walks up to the gate with her bound in chains to his hands. He hears in the background a little tootie come over the radio. Not the radio, I mean, just a piano player in the corner, playing a cordial song. One jumpy, bumping. However, it masked the eerie, horrible stench that came from this place. As he walked in, they accepted his card and announced his name, Lord of Sindria, Naofumi. With the elf behind him, many watchers and ongoers stare at her. Many already putting in bets personally to Naofumi, however this just makes him even angrier. He's already pretty angry just having to do this. He walks, they basically just have to ask to basically just get out of this place, get through here. As they're trying to make their way to the opposite end of the door, the royal curtains kind of drape over them, as one man in a proper business suit, tubby in his appearance, with a monocle. Good sir, I am the manager of this establishment. You have to understand that when we do business, we do it properly. Don't go just yet. There are many here to view your slave. Please, let these gentlemen take care of her, as he signals to the left and right of him. Men come out and take her properly by the arms. She almost resists, however, Naofumi puts his hand onto her shoulder, nodding to her, saying that almost like this was planned. The music did not match their moods. As Naofumi walks behind the professor man, he introduces himself, however, Naofumi doesn't give a shit about his name. He's led into into the basement where he holds his most prized slaves. Massive ones that look almost like abominations, chimeras. The music off into the distance, it felt so scummy down here. It smelled like feces. Every single step took him gritting his teeth down to make another. And it came up to a girl, a tiny little demi-human, her ears flicking back and forth as she hears them walk in, but doesn't look up. The man almost glances over her until Naofumi points down to her. What about this one? I was about to skip to the arms section, but... Oh, that one? I've been using her myself. She's not that good at what you're looking for if you're looking for manual work. I'll be the judge of that. I won't take her now. Can you have that damn pianist stop already? He says, No, the party upstairs has to continue. It doesn't fit any of this. Are they forced to listen to this shit all day? If you hate that much, I can change into something more fashionable. Perhaps this is more to your liking. As they switch to a different room, completely different than the other ones. It's glamorous, colored from head to toe in dark paint. The glamorous side of it soon was erased as it grows dark. Grooves and cuts in the floor are seen as it seems to age rapidly. It's just like when that thing attacked him before. Is he back here again? No. Is this the man that caused it? This is what we call the future time. It's where we store all of our safeguard items. That includes our mechanical arms section. Several of the arms mounted onto the wall are all futuristic, with spring-loaded arm sets, some with even guns on them. It's incredible they can have guns on them now. It seems like this future time is no joke. Was that the future that happens to this world if he lets it die? He's in his mind until he hears about Van Roda. What's that name? Why does he remember it so? It's only theoretically an arm that can be made. However, it's only been made by one blacksmith from one source. The great world snake, Jormungandr. No one's seen that guy for thousands of years. Not even the elves. Quite unfortunate, don't you say? Where can I find the world snake? If I knew, I could have told you. Wouldn't you agree? I agree, but one thing. I want all the arms in this room. Oh, really? Well, that'll be... No. I don't want anything in return. And you know what? While we're at it, how about you give me all of the slaves back there, too? You know what? Don't even give me them. Set them free. What are you talking about, sir? That's my whole stock. I don't think that you can pay. I'm not talking about paying. As he opens up his hand, Naofumi's dark, cinders all balling up into his hand. You know, I've had about enough of people staring at my future life like that. You disgusting pigs. We're all the same. Is this really what the Empire has become? To allow a pig like you to live underneath its surface? Sir. As the man stands unfazed by the threat, suddenly the futuristic timeline starts to distort a little bit, but stays the same. You wish to threaten me. What a bad day for you. You wondered who was the king now? Well, I'm the king of this town, bitch. As suddenly the monocle cracks in half. His face starts to turn into a boar's head. Tusks start to launch themselves out of his teeth. His whole body replaced by a muscular mayhem. A futuristic symbioid that just grows and grows and grows until it destroys the roof above it, revealing the surface ground with smog covering the clouds, cinders stopping the light from even touching the ground, and Naofumi left in the ruckus and the rumbles of it all. Holy shit! Where the fuck am I? He looks around to see the future timeline. Everything so distraught. Is this what you want, sir? I am the true king of the human kingdom, not them. They have no idea. I rule from the shadows, with none at my call. But I control them through magic. Each and every single one of them my dogs. And you call me a pig? You joke, sir. As Naofumi tries to check his level, almost level 500. He applies a massive roar, which was a skill that knocks Naofumi off of his guard. Naofumi quickly stomps his foot into the ground, roaring himself, causing a battle roar to begin, where their screams get louder and louder until Naofumi's vocal cords start to strain. However, he pushes past further that, equaling the war roar, setting them off into the same parts. The man says, "You equaled my roar. Incredible. Well,
It was quite impressive. Enough for a death speech. Now, in this eternal, hell-forsaken, ripped-apart land, you shall lay your life down by my hand. As the boar just immediately charges at Naofumi. His speed is it's ungodly. As he just pounds down on Naofumi, blow after blow, causing Naofumi's bones to break in between his legs as he forces his legs into the ground, creating an even more perfect defense. He tries using holy magic and eternal stopper, something that he had crafted himself, able to stop any attack and stop the ricochet. However, it was so great, the power that was thrusted down upon him. It was insane. Was the roar enough to do this? But soon tired out, as the boar just fell down onto his ass. How are you alive? That was maximum power. That could have killed a god. As the king of spirits recovers himself inside of the shield, saying, Naofumi, end this now. I couldn't take any more. This shifted realm stops logic. It stops my brain from working. I don't even know if the lich will work. We have to think fast. Destroy him now! As the lich, an arm comes out from his other crucifix on his back. He takes out it as he jumps up into the air, trying to smite down on top of him. Hell release, something that was known in that shield. It combined with the power of this world, it seems almost 2 times its normal strength, able to smite down straight onto his stomach. As the boar yells out in pain, screaming, trying to run away because the strike was not enough to kill him. Cinders start to peel him away. No! I will not die like this! As he starts to peel away. I controlled the Empire for 3,000 years. You will not end that. As he grabs onto Naofumi, trying to crush him, starting with his arms, crushing them in, as Naofumi screams out in pain. But the cinder, he turns into ashes before he can crush Naofumi fully. Naofumi falls down to the ground. His body in such pain, and his world in such contortion. He finally returns back to reality. His whole body in so much pain. He stares up at the ceiling, losing consciousness. And then a few hours later, he finally wakes up again. His head on Lily's lap. Her stares down at him with her blank eyes. They are scarred. Around her eyes, they seem to grow outward. The flames must have covered around her face, all the way down beneath her cheeks, and to her ears, too. His head hurt like fucking hell. As men after men came down the stairwell, searching after Naofumi and Lily. Lily instantly ricocheted them with arrows upon arrows, making sure that Naofumi could get his sleep. Once he woke up fully, there was 5 bodies laying right beneath his feet. As she stared down at him, saying, "Well, good morning, sleepyhead. How long have I been out?" "Only so long." "I didn't think you would start killing." "Oh, no. One of them tried to hit me." "I mean, you're a slave. Of course they did." "Well, you're so mean. Wouldn't you want to defend me or anything?" "You can handle yourself." "Oh, now you've just become apathetic." "So what if I have become apathetic?" As one of the men comes at him, he grabs onto his throat and immediately crushes it within his hand before he can scream. "You have become apathetic. Look at you. just murdering whoever you want to. Yeah, you didn't even ask my appreciation. You don't appreciate me. That's what it is. What are you talking about? You just killed one guy right in front of you. As she literally just headshot a guy with her bow. But then he cores his hand straight through another, throwing him against the wall. As his blood splatters up against it, he takes up his head and crushes it between his hands. Oh, you're so brutish, using such bloody tactics. As they storm through the party, they both look at each other, seeing as all the people around here. She was sure to mark down all of the slavers. They set the place on fire just a few minutes ago. However, Naofumi just remembers, shit, the slaves. They don't earn any of this. They may be pigs, but they deserve better than the ones that enslave other pigs. This idiom's starting to shut down, isn't it? Yes, it is. Thank you for reconfirming something I did not want to be reconfirmed. As he rushes back into the slavery lounge, as it starts to burn up, some of the slaves are caught up in the fire. I didn't want to do more bad than good this time around. He looks down to see the girl whining and not doing anything. For what he expected her to be crying and watching all the rest of the slaves be burned. She seemed emotionless. Just rescuing her wouldn't be anything. Right as she gets out into the wild, she would just be eaten. Like the rest of them, the demon apocalypse. God damn it. Why do I have to care about people? I thought I was over this. As he breaks all their locks, releasing all of them out into the party. As they scatter through everybody in the crazy shock, basically he blows open a hole through the back of the place, allowing all the slaves to go through the treasury, which was shown to Naofumi. They all arm themselves and run out the back. Naofumi then runs his way back up, catching up with Lillian. However, seeing her in her rags as she shoots some of the royals trying to get out of the fire, he sees one of the, slaver women with her little, mask, owl mask on, and her very cordial dress. However, it was shortened to the thigh, exactly how Lillian's was when she was back at her country. It was green, so it matches perfectly. He stares down at her as she holds up her hand to her breasts. He grabs onto her shirt and rips it off of her, in almost a cleanly-like fashion, unclothing her almost immediately. As she shrieks and says, "Rapist!" he says, "I do not give a flying shit about your body. Why would a grown man like to watch pigs bathe in their own filth?" As he tosses it over to Lillian, they jump out the window, waving goodbye to the rest of the party, in almost a funny-like way, to keep themselves jovial. Naofumi turns to Lillian as as she accidentally tripped, and one of the fiery boards comes flying right at him. "You could have caught me in that fire, see? If you had let me sleep and you'd caught the place on fire, I could have died." "Oh, we both know that you are fire resistant by this point." "So what? You are too." "Well, you are the one with the black armor. All of your people have the black armor, by the way. Don't they hate me for that?" "I don't think they blame you for much," as they have this conversation walking away from the burning mansion, off into the forest. The beautiful, soft forest as it sways throughout the trees, the burning mansion behind them with screams coming out from below. The roads all closed off by bombs thrown and shot by Lily. "You made sure to kill all of them, correct?" Lily nods her head as he says, Good. I didn't want anything clouding my mind while I destroy, have my way with the world. And with that, they have effectively destroyed the whole entire slave trade.
that goes through this area. Well, all the slave trade that really is the core part of this whole country's. Insane.
Genie grind, I wish I'm getting rich, huh? Remember when I said I hit a lick, huh? I don't really wanna fuck the bitch, what? Willie went and made another hit, okay, like Prada on my motherfucking kid, huh? Louis on my motherfucking hip, huh? Curry how I dunk, no switch, hey, fucker gonna fuck that bitch, hey, if you ain't gon' fuck with me, you a dumb fuck, put up a hit up for that one punch, look at my bank and I'm getting dumb rich, and I'm on the Canada